NATO personnel just entered the port and were completely destroyed by Russian military drones. It was only then that Ukraine responded and started closing doors to catch insiders. But Zelensky overlooked one thing. According to Russian media, military observation report on October 9th, the cargo ship transporting NATO personnel had just entered the ports of Odessa and Chernomorsk and hadn't had a chance to unload yet. The Russian military drones flew over as if guided, hitting the target with precision. The entire dock instantly turned into a sea of fire. The weapons and ammunition NATO just shipped burned to scrap metal even before offloading. Port facilities were also blown to pieces. This level of accuracy cannot be explained by good luck anymore. The Ukrainian military is not foolish and immediately began to suspect a leak. Over the past month or so, the frequency of Russian attacks on Ukrainian ports has been extraordinarily high. According to French media statistics, in September alone, the Russian military launched 56,388 Shahed series drones at Ukraine, and these drones did not fire randomly, specifically targeting ports around Odessa, military facilities, and energy bases, hitting key targets every time. This makes it hard not to suspect. Ukrainian Air Force claims every day that interception rate exceeds 80%. But the reality is, the Ukrainian anti-aircraft system is nearly crippled, facing hundreds of Russian drones daily, even several hundred drones in saturation attacks. Those Western-supplied anti-aircraft missiles are just for show, offering no real defense. Yet, the Ukrainian officials are boasting, refusing to disclose the real losses. This head-in-the-sand approach will only leave them more passive. The mole investigation was immediately launched, with port staff as the main suspects. Their logic is simple. The Russian military hits with such precision. It must have been someone who informed the Russians when the ship would arrive, stopping at which berth number. In advance told the Russians. Thus, the special forces were stationed at the port, started checking one by one, making everyone feel uneasy. But this time, Ukraine really went in the wrong direction. Russia has plenty of means to acquire intelligence. There's no need to risk inserting a spy in the port. First, the navigational trajectories of all merchant ships on the International Ship Automatic Identification System are public as long as Russia goes online for a search. They can know which ship departs from where and when it will reach Ukraine. Secondly, Russia's reconnaissance satellites are highly effective, watching over the Black Sea 24 hours a day. Which ship is approaching the port, stopping at which berth number, captured with utmost clarity. Moreover, the Russian military in Crimea and the radar systems deployed around the Black Sea can monitor the entire sea area in real time. Whenever a large ship approaches the Ukrainian coast, the Russian military can immediately detect it, then dispatch drones for reconnaissance and confirmation. Currently, Russia can produce each month over 5,000 Shahed drones using this low-cost weapon. They aren't worried at all, sending dozens for reconnaissance, dozens to launch attacks. With Ukraine's limited air defense capabilities, it's completely overwhelming. So now the Ukrainian military's investigation into infiltrators is plain and simple to cover up the fact of their own lack of capability, rather than admitting the air defense systems have been destroyed and the intelligence stations are greatly disadvantaged. It's better to find some scapegoats to take the blame. At least there's some explanation for the outside world, and internally it can stabilize the military. But this kind of self-deception won't solve any problem. The Russian military should still continue bombing. Whatever Ukrainian military losses are, will continue to be lost. It's definitely unavoidable, and the current Russian tactics are not going to run away from it. A complete system has already been formed. Drone reconnaissance, satellite positioning, radar monitoring, saturated attack, interlocking. There are reports just when Ukraine is busy catching internal spies. Russian drones continue to bomb. Odessa has been bombed several more times. The port facilities in Chernomorsk are also severely damaged. Ukraine doesn't have many Black Sea ports to begin with. Now each one is being bombed beyond recognition. Even if military resources are shipped over later, there's no place to unload them. This is the most fatal war at this stage. Ukraine really should think carefully. The US and the West say they support, but in reality they are just treating Ukraine as a pawn to exhaust Russia. NATO personnel just entered the port and were bombed into a sea of fire. Isn't this the best proof? Instead of catching internal spies, it would be better to think carefully about how to protect their own ports and infrastructure.